Okay, welcome back to the final edition of Social Club. This time what we're going to be talking about is something slightly different once again. We're going to be talking about journalism in football and whether we actually think it's in crisis. So one of the sort of reasons for this show is something that's very fresh in my mind, is Jurgen Klopp did a press conference at the weekend and spoke about a Sun reporter asked him a question and he refused to answer it, stating that it's not because he works for Liverpool now, but it's actually because of a story that's going to break in the news over the next couple of days, which I thought was quite interesting.
Who you been banging?
Not him, it was Dejan Lovren.
All right.
And it wasn't even Dejan Lovren, it's Dejan Lovren's wife was cheating on him. Right, and this broke yesterday.
Okay.
And what I wanted to know is, why is that relevant? Is that in public interest? Because when you're writing an article about somebody, you've got to say that it's in the interest of the general public. Had Dejan Lovren maybe done the banging, for want of a better word, you could see that could be of interest to people who are Croatia fans, because he might not go to the Euros and all that type of stuff, but it's his wife, and I just want to understand what's going on where we have to and it was the rag, of course it was the rag who did this. How can this be what football journalism has turned into, Ped?
It's not football journalism though, is it? That's not football journalism, that's just journalism as a whole, but using a high profiled individual to do it. And this goes back to that other video we did about why football clubs don't want to let players anywhere near anyone in case any information goes missing. It's just bollocks, isn't it? I look at most newspapers I don't buy newspapers now. I haven't for a good while. I don't see the point in newspapers. I think the landscape is changing very quickly. I think we've seen Tony Barrett last week. He's leaving the Times to go and work for Joe. I think that tells you where things are going. A newspaper this morning was having a go at one of the BBC Olympic correspondents because the clothes she was wearing might just have been a little bit revealing. Helen Skelton. I would.
Knew that was coming.
Carry on, Ped.
Because Rachel Riley's going to be presenting Friday Night Football.
Yes.
Hayley McQueen.
But what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Why do these people feel like the virtue?
Because four of us just celebrated Rachel Riley presenting.
Lads. No, but I don't give a monkeys about. I could care less about what he's been up to. I don't care unless it's like something that is gonna something sick, something that affects That's not journalism to me, that's just shite. Is
it even public interest though?
No, the story that you've given the example of is not public interest. It's barely even show business, which I don't really believe is journalism either. But what this is a prime example of is it's one arm of the media absolutely whacking a pinata until it's a pulp. That's what it's doing. They're trying to get as much as they can, squeeze as much as they can out of print media and the money that is in print media until it's dead. And that's what News UK will do, that's what Murdoch will do, that's what the Rag will do. And they're carrying on doing it.
The problem with it though is that it's not, that actually works both ways, because it's not only, that's clickbait as well for the internet.
Yeah.
See what Liverpool star has been,
but the blah, blah, blah,
with his Alsatian. So I don't know, but these things, that's
It was a Chelsea player, that.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
It's literally every...
Okay, it was you.
It was me, one of my beagles before a hunt. I'm sorry, guys.
Right, we've got to clip that up and put it on Facebook. You won't believe what this Chelsea fan did next.
With his
Click the link to find out.
With his Warhammer.
Sorry, bad cough.
Okay.
With his Warhammer. He loves Warhammer, by the way. No, that's it though, isn't it? That's the problem. I've noticed now, I think it might be the Express, they don't even use I don't even think the sports thing use like like Express Sport. They don't even use the sort of the date. You know what I mean? I think they're embarrassed by the name on the front. They don't have the same name on the back. And I think the sports things, the proper ones, must just be so embarrassed by some of the things that get written. And
I suppose this brings you mentioned him, Tony Barrett moving to joe.co.uk and what type of a coup that would be for them. It is an ever-changing landscape over the last few years, obviously with the introduction of more and more blogs, vlogs, fan channels on YouTube, all that type of stuff. It's changing. That media hasn't moved with the times in any way, shape or form. And as you say, they're probably just grasping at straws at the end of it. But, going back onto it, I'll bring it back to another case. John Terry has had a few of these cases over the years.
A few.
Fans of other clubs laugh at it, but you do realise that, it shouldn't be newsworthy for them.
No, I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, I'm reading a book at the minute. It's a really, really good book. It's called The Manager. It's about...
Lady Bird.
Come here. It's great bed. It's called The Hungry Caterpillar. No, it's
I read that every fucking night to my kid. It's so boring.
No, it's not.
Come on. Sorry, Barry's behind camera. Who loves The Hungry Caterpillar. Carry on.
It's a book called The Manager. It's by Mike Carson. It's just sort of about how football managers have had to evolve through times and stuff. And sort of a big one, Sam Allardyce, Carlo Ancelotti talk about how years and years ago, if you spoke to the media, you wouldn't have to worry about private lives because all they cared about is the actual football itself. Carlo Ancelotti said in France, in Spain and Italy, it's changing a bit now, but all they really talk about is the actual football itself. So that's what they focus on. That's what they talk about because that's the most important thing. But in the UK, they want to know what's going on elsewhere on the changing room. They want to know the gossip, and it just stems from it doesn't stem from football and gossip. It stems from reality television.
Oh, Geordie you are spot on, son. I was going to say exactly the same
Geordie
thing.
Shore, Celebrity Big Brother, the Kardashians. This is what people want to see now, and it's sad.
But the rules in England are completely different. We don't have a right to privacy in the UK. That's governed by something from the 1998 Human Rights Act from the EU. It's an EU law, which just means that you've got to basically... the rag went to Dejan Lovren in this instance and said, we've got a piece about you, you're going to have to put an injunction in against us or something like that. And there's basically no point in putting an injunction in because you can talk about the injunction but you can't talk about the story. Once people are talking about the injunction, the story's fucking out there.
And it builds up then because they probably know they're going to win in the end. But you're spot on because you just said people don't have a right to privacy. Certain people in this country don't want privacy. They want their lives splashed over. We live in a world where people will go on reality shows and be married for 3 or 4 years based on how that will affect their career. And both people come out of that relationship, and I think most people know what relationship I'm talking about, in a much stronger position financially. And they were happy to have kids with each other. What sick fucks are these people? And that's it's true though, and that's the world we live in. We've got idiots now, and I will call them all idiots watching Celebrity Big Brother, and there are no celebrities in it. There's just idiots in it who are famous for being idiots on other reality programs. This is the fucking world we live in. This is the country we live in.
I think it's deeper than that though, Peds. I think it's very right in saying that reality TV does
amplify
it, but I think it comes down to the news values of this country in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
And reality TV does stem from those news values in this country.
Yeah.
If you look at France, Sarkozy, Sarkozy, the former French president, bit off topic I know, he had an affair and a mistress for ages. No political journalist wanted anything to know about it. They wanted to know about the politics, and that's what it should be in this country.
It's France, you're allowed to have a mistress.
Yeah, but anyway. That's what it should be like in this country. The news values need to go back to what the actual content and substance to what we're discussing is. Because if that doesn't happen, then no wonder that we're wasting so much time.
Well, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk about what's important.
We're wasting so much time caring about who John Terry or
I couldn't care
Lovren's
less. The bottom line is
we don't discuss what is going to make us successul in football.
The
What's
bottom
going to
line
bring
is
us forward?
until these idiots get wiped out off the country. I mean, I'll happily...
I've been blaming Velcro for years because they can't tie the fucking shoelaces, these idiots. They'd have to fucking tip over on them and fallen and
I'll happily drive all these idiots
Velcro has saved them.
into the sea. I'll happily drive all these idiots, Maiden, Chelsea, Geordie Shore, Essex. I will drive them all into
That's only a microcosm, though. That's only
no. But I'm saying we start there. They're like the Pied Pipers, all the idiots.
Yeah, but then you've got another 60 in the system waiting to be churned out and like.
Unfortunately, you're right though. It's like the standards, isn't it? If you give people a certain level of standards, that's what people will fall into.
Yeah. Let's just lower to our levels quickly. Guys, do you want to take a look at these lovely new standards? Got them at office, absolute bargain. Then look at Chris's. Oh my God, they are so disgusting. Oh my God, why are you wearing them? Oh my God, can't deal with this.
Do you want to go for a walk, mate? Do you want to go for a walk? I'll just show you a really nice river. Let
me just get my spray.
Let me just get my because his face matches his hair at this point.
Let me just get my spray tan first.
No, get some rocks in a bin. But no.
But that's it. That's what it's boiled down to.
You know what the weird thing is though? They'll probably proper journalists.
This is why this is Ball Street North.
I know.
We don't let the likes of you in.
Seriously though, proper journalists will be looking at it going, there's blogs out there that are ruining this for clickbait and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When actually, in point of fact, we're the fans having a fucking discussion about the journalists being shit. And that's how bad it's got. That we're the ones who want to talk about the proper things.
To be fair,
we're the ones doing the journalism.
To be fair, it's not the football journalist's fault. Let's get that right. They work for dickhead outlets and they've got nowhere else to go. And maybe what Tony Barrett's just done shows actually there might be somewhere to go. And if enough of them jump ship and those newspapers just become rags that talk about all this shit, people stop buying them. And that's the end result, isn't it? Yeah. If people didn't buy into this stuff, then these newspapers wouldn't do this thing. Yeah. So maybe if the sports, I've said for ages, why don't we have a newspaper, one national newspaper that all it does is cover sport? Now I know it's been tried before, but maybe the landscape's right for it now, and people wouldn't buy all this nonsense.
I don't think newspaper is the answer. I think vlogs, joe.co.uk, Sport Bible, Lad Bible, they're the answer now.
I don't necessarily think that's true because
I think
as someone who works on the road, I see enough new, white van drivers and they've all got a newspaper. They're not going to have their iPad. They all have a newspaper, something to read. There is still a market for that. I don't know, it's a shrinking market, but that's still there. And the other stuff on the front is just indulgent shite. You know what I mean? Most people will go to the back first. So I think we should have I think if a few of these big journalists got together, they could probably start their own.
I think as a final point, I think it goes to show also how confused and illogical the kind of business the kind of business process of the media is these days, because the landscape's changing so much. People are just trying to find any kind of tactic, there's no kind of process to it at all. They're trying to find anything that can sell papers, clicks, whatever.
Bring me back a fucking proper written match report and fuck off the 5 things you learned about Liverpool.
Can't have match reports. The reason you can't have match reports is because the deadline is 5:30. Because newspapers are so instant.
You have a match report on the website.
The clickbait is so instantaneous. They want the match report out by 5 o'clock. So the match report's normally written by half time, and then they just throw all the second half bits in.
But it's like I remember speaking about match reports and all that sort of the newspapers and that. Like I always remember my dad telling me stories about he'd go watch the game, he'd do a milk round, he'd go up to the news agents, and there'd be the match report, newspaper, and everything just there, and it'd be ready to go.
They got it delivered, didn't they?
No, he didn't. He didn't. Can I just... We're doing this now. We're actually trying to have a serious conversation, okay?
Can I just say that milk round is a euphemism for something else, mate?
Right, okay. I'm going to put an end to this. What I want you to do, though, and being deadly serious on this, I want you to go over to skysports.com/fantasy football, where Ball Street will be running their fantasy football league this season. Peds will be involved, Lou will be involved, I'll be involved. I'm sure James is going to get involved. I've heard a whisper that there's a Villa fan channel on the horizon.
There is. Well, there's already one there, and I'm wearing a very fetching shirt on the motivational video to the Aston Villa players. So if you want to check that out, go ahead. Okay,
so that's Villa View. We better tell them where it is, otherwise they
the Villa View, the Villa View.
Okay, but seriously, our fantasy football league code is 823-4496. If you want to play along with everybody who's involved in Social Club, do that. Links and all that are in the description below. And we'll be revealing our team on Thursday. Of course, as always, leave your comments to the Journalism in Football below. I want to see loads of conversation around it, because I want to know whether you guys think that you agree with us that they can do better. You know, we deserve better as football fans. We don't deserve this shite that they're peddling to us at the minute. And don't forget, of course, to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
It's the start of a new season, so that means you must be picking your fantasy football team for the year. Well, Ball Street have got their own league, and we want you guys to join, courtesy of Sky Fantasy Football. If you want to get involved, click the link below, pop in the code, and you can join the Ball Street League. And if you need a bit of inspiration, I'm going to be revealing my team on the Ball Street channel this Thursday. Saying that, all of those players become null and void. You can't choose them because, well, if you do, you're officially a cheat. Good luck.